Alrighty, folks. The moment you've been waiting for is here. It's time for World of Goo 80% with skips by Satan herself. So, without further ado, Satan, take it away.
Thank you, Curry. Yeah, this is World of Goo, a really classic physics puzzle simulator from the 2000s, 2008 to be more precise, and that's going to shape a lot of what this game is like. I think y'all are going to really like it. I'm really excited to show it to you, but before we get started, I'd like my lovely commentator to introduce itself.
Good evening. My name is Echo. I use it as pronouns. I've never played this game before, but I've checked out the speed run a little bit recently. So I'm really excited to see you do all this live.
Heck yeah. And we do have a bid war that is going to close right about now. So Curry, what was the winner of our file name bid war?
Yeah, so in that bid war, we raised a total of $189.51.
No way.
Just for that alone. So thank you so much for your donations. In first place at $100 is Pork Buns.
How's that capitalized?
Just a proper title case, capital P, capital B.
Okay, love it.
I think with a space in the
Let's
middle.
see if a space will work. It does.
If
Yay.
it will work. There we go. Okay.
Love to see it. Okay, that's very fun. Thank you, chat, for making that happen. Very, very cool. And I know we also already met our epilogue incentive, so y'all are gonna get to see some extra special levels at the end. So thank you so much for raising money for Blue Path to do that as well. So yeah, I think we can get started here in just a moment. So time starts when I click into the first level, not when I click into the first chapter. So do not start time just yet. All right. And then we're going to start time in 3, 2, 1, go. Or goo, if you want. So, going up, it's just an introduction to the main mechanics of this game, which are building with goo balls. So we got to make sure that we build all the way to the pipe and then get the requisite amount of goo balls in the pipe. You can always see how many goo balls we need in the bottom right corner while the level is going. So this was just an introductory level, show you the basics. I messed up a little bit on that one, but we're just warming up. For full transparency, by the way, I PB'd by about a minute in this game earlier today, so I hope that I didn't get all the goo out of my system while doing that. But yeah, and then the game says you can build a bridge if you feel like it, and we say, okay, I guess we can. You can see at the beginning of the game here, and we're going to get a tool to make this easier later, but for now we're going to be shuttling the goo balls to the pipe as soon as we reach it, and it starts kind of giving that suction up. You can even just kind of throw goo balls in the pipe's general direction a little bit. Because it has that suction, it'll just make sure to grab everything near it. So, pretty handy. We'll also be using the suction of the pipe to do lots and lots of cheese things throughout this run. A lot of strategies made possible by that wouldn't be otherwise. These are the albino goo balls. They're very similar to the standard gray ones. The only difference is that they make more connections per link up. And there we go. Pretty simple there. And we're going to get into a cutscene in a moment here. So, Curry, what are you thinking about this here game? Do you have anything you want to say?
It kind of reminds me of like similar like physics or like the games where you build a bridge. I'm like forgetting what it's called, but it vaguely reminds me of like that with all the triangles you're building. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the sort of early prototypes of the sort of physics simulator puzzle game genre, although this game also has a lot of things it wants to say. Those are the people that live in this world, by the way, and World of Goo Corp is a thing. We don't like World of Goo Corp. It's kind of the antagonist of this game, actually. You'll see what we mean in a little while. And then Flying Machine. So this one's going to introduce us to one of the most important goo ball types throughout this run, which are the flying goo balls. You can see that when you attach, they're going to work like balloons. And here I'm actually not trying to go as fast as humanly possible, because a mechanic will explain at the end. So you see here that when this thing fills up, sometimes you'll see the letters OCD appear on the screen if you've done it like perfectly, and that'll actually give you a little flag at the end of the level out here, which costs you a little bit more than a second. So there we want a 17 seconds time instead of a 16 second time to avoid the flag. Funny. Usually we aren't going to be doing that though. Usually it is faster just to do whatever the game considers perfect. Here's Tumblr. Yes, the lovely website that we all partook in, you know, however many years ago. Some of us still do. And here we made a little thing to give us a more stable platform, but I messed up a little bit, so we're reacting here to that. There's a lot of points in this game where you'll have to react when you do things a little bit incorrectly, and that's a good example of that. Yeah. Also, these green
we
ones...
can build a little...
Yeah, go ahead.
Goofy, you know?
So true. Exactly. Yeah, if you've got goo puns, by the way, please send them in your donations. Would love to hear that for Blue Path, or in the chat, of course, as well. This is Fisty, and this is Fisty's Bog. This game knows what it is.
Yeah.
It has a self-awareness. We'll just say that. Echo reacted to this game for the first time yesterday. How are you feeling, friend?
It's like seeing an old friend, but it's only been a day.
That, I guess, is what it's like. Fair enough.
The jokes are all there again.
21's
I don't know
okay.
if I've laughed at any of the jokes, but sometimes you don't need to laugh at a joke to appreciate it.
That's fair. But yeah, in that one, there were spikes on the top and the bottom, so we had to avoid them. We did do that. Again, Ivy Towers, this game knows what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and build a nice little tower here. Now these green ones, we didn't actually bring it up in Tumblr because it wasn't relevant there, but these green goo balls can actually detach from each other and reattach. That's unlike the gray ones, which can't do that. So we're gonna go ahead and take some from the bottom here in order to lengthen our tower up such that we get there. But we don't have the goo balls necessary, but actually we do, because of that very same feature. There we go. If you're really, really good at this game, you can make a little structure and then throw it up to the top by using goo balls. It's a really, really advanced strategy. Highly recommend looking up the world record of this game. I'm good at this game for sure, but there are some people who can do some wild strategies in this one. But no matter, impale sticky. So the game is teaching you here that sharp things are scary. I hope you already know that as a human, but like, you know, making sure, just in case you don't. So we have to build around those little saws. I'm also going to use a goo ball to throw these sleeping goo balls near the structure, because as you can see, sleeping goo balls only wake up when they're close to a structure of active goo balls. Also, wanted to kind of talk about, just with that, like, why this belongs in Multithon? Well, I think it's pretty clear. We have to reach all of our goals by working together with all of our goo balls. And then, of course, we shuttle a bunch of goo balls into a pipe to win. So I think it is a very, it's a very collaborative type of experience here. World of Goo. This is the first time we're really going to cheese a level, too. Yeah, go ahead.
Sort of like having a whole team of goons at your command.
See, Curry, the problem with you doing this is that chat doesn't get to in their donations. But you're so real.
What do I even say to that? Chat, if you have more puns and wordplay, I would love to hear it. And because I'm not good at it, so you're gonna have to help me out here, chat. I've got a quick message for you if you have time right now.
Yeah, go for it.
Got it. We've got $10 from Marksy, who says, good evening, lovely girlfriend. Your passion and drive for speedrunning and constantly improving your skills is incredible to see. Lesson 3.
Aw, thank you, Marcy. So sweet. She's watching from home. Didn't want to bother her because this is her busy work season. But I appreciate you writing in. So that one there in chain, we just made a little piece of goo that we were able to use to wake up those goo balls, and then we were able to build towards the center there. Now, ode to the bridge builder. This one's one where the game kind of gets funny, and it says, we're going to give you this big gap, and you're going to not be able to deal with it, but then eventually you're going to figure out, due to the hints of the game and also just your own smarts, that you can build a tower and knock it over, and you're going to feel really good and smart. And I say, no, thanks. I would like to build the bridge, actually. I'd rather do the thing.
I am seeing in chat that Marksy wants to insist that it is pronounced girlfriend.
Ah,
Sorry,
girlfriend.
yes, I just... it's, yeah, the spell Goorlfriend. I just did not pick up on that at all.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's my bad.
Your brain auto-corrected. Good job.
It auto-corrected. It's like, oh, you
That's
totally
too
meant to
many
say
O's
girlfriend,
in
right?
there.
No.
You typed that twice by accident.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's girlfriend. Sorry.
Girlfriend. I love that.
Girl.
Excellent. That could also be spelled with an H and B for Halloween season, but we're not quite there yet. Where we are is the regurgitation pumping station, which is exactly what it sounds like. So we're going to build this nice big structure in order to keep balanced. Except for the game's going to be mean to me and decide it doesn't want to. So we're going to have to adjust, but that's okay. Such is life. And then we're going to build up to these wheels here, which are going to eventually, when we build high enough into them, capture everything, because of the traction. And then if we build even a little higher, come on. It's a little random sometimes whether the game decides to kind of latch onto your structure and, well, regurgitate it, but sometimes it does. Here the game's being nice and letting me move these eyeball balloon things over the top of that, and there goes our structure off into the distance. And that's the end of World 1 here. We have our first little cutscene. The goo balls are surveying the world and finding out that there's more to it than just the grasslands. But for now, anything that either Echo or Curry would like to say, now's a good time.
I'm happy to chime in for a short moment here. Folks, we may be chilling throughout the night here, but remember, we're still accepting donations. ! Donate. Every single one of your dollars goes towards Blue Path. And if we raise $5,000 over the course of this event, we get to name a puppy who will go through the Blue Path training program. A $5,000 donation helps cover the costs during the early months of a Blue Path puppy's life, including vet expenses, supplies, travel, and training gear. Multithon so far has named 3 puppies: Thunder, Lightning, and Neva. So this is what you're donating for. It's fantastic. Let's get in our puppy on our books here.
Yes, puppies. I don't think that there's a better thing to donate for, really. I don't know what you could want.
Name a puppy Goort. Goort? Goort? What are some goo names?
Stewart Little.
I'll let you cook with that.
Scooby-Doo.
Ooh, that's a good
okay.
one.
I think we have a winner.
Yeah, honestly.
We don't even need to do anymore.
Chat,
Unless
if you
chat
think
wants
so.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, please let us know what you think of your donations. Whether you
do.
agree with our names, whether you have names of your own. I'm not creative, so you'll have to help me out here.
So true. Hosts are never creative. Totally never. But anyway, fly away, little ones. So the game does not want you to do what I just did. It actually wants you to sort of rotate the structure using your balloon balls. But the balloon balls have really, really big hitboxes. So they're actually really useful for pushing structures. So that's what we did there. We, instead of sort of using them to rotate around, we just pushed it really quickly, and that was an 18-second fly away. I'll take that. Not bad. Not bad. We're going to be using that quite a bit throughout the rest. This is where I would plug the epilogue incentive, except for y'all already met it, so GG, Multithon chat. We're going to be skipping this one, and it's dawning on me that I didn't really explain what the skips are. So this game's a really accessible puzzle game. Highly recommend playing it for yourself. And in that accessibility, they make almost every single level skippable from the in-level menu. You can just click skip level and be done with it. And while that's really lovely for casual play, it makes the true any % speedrun really, really boring. So nobody does it in this game. Instead, either they play any %, which is just do all the levels, or you do any % skips, which is what we're doing here today. Any % skips gives you 3 free skips every single world except for the final world, and you can use them on any level that you want. So we've already rationed out 2 skips for 2 different levels, and we're going to be using more throughout, so don't be alarmed if I skip a level. That is on purpose. There was a welcoming unit. That was basically just an auto-scroller. What you see is what you get, so no real need to explain too much on that one. 43 is about the fastest you can do on it. So, good stuff. And we're coming up on something really interesting. This is beauty school. So we're going to be introduced to a new type of goo ball here. It's not like the other ones. She's really not like the other ghouls. Ghouls. We're going to use this thing to throw her down to the bottom as quickly as possible. And then she's going to break up into tiny little pieces. We're also introduced to these red pipes, which collect tiny pieces of beauty balls. So that's a new mechanic. Yep. Echo, what do you think this means?
Well, I think it means that we're gonna have to deal with a lot of sort of ghosts and ghouls.
Right.
Ghouls?
Ghouls?
Does this work? Is this one working?
Is this anything? Tell us in your
I think
donations.
we've got something.
We've got something?
I'm worrying. Oh,
No. I just said I think you've got something there. I'll let you cook with that.
Yes, do let us cook. Now the game is teaching you that you can do the same thing that you probably already figured out by now. Just do the swag ending, where you just break it up and let it suck in the last goo ball. That's risky. I shouldn't be doing that in the marathon. Here we are. 8-second leap roll. That's what you want. And then now
things
we're
are going
going to
well.
find
You got to show off.
Exactly. We're going to try to do that later with a level that I'm really excited to show y'all called Upper Shaft. I'm very hyped for that. So stick around for it for sure. Here we're going to skip Volcanic Percolator Day Spa and get excited for the whistle that we just got. A whistle doesn't seem very impactful, but it's actually going to help us a ton throughout the rest of the game, and I always forget I don't have it before I get it. So how this works is we're going to hold down on our left mouse button, and then we're gonna whistle. So the goo balls are attracted to the sound of the whistle and move wherever that is. So you can imagine how this is going to be very helpful for the rest of the game. First of all, of course, it's going to be helpful for beating this particular level because it's the tutorial level for whistles. But even beyond that, we're now going to be able to shuttle goo balls wherever we want, whenever we want, which is going to be helpful for exactly this purpose, just getting goo balls to the pipe faster, but also can be helpful in rebalancing structures and doing other sorts of things. So you'll be seeing that be used pretty much every level from here on out, more or less. 27 whistle, that's pretty much perfect, more or less. Love that. And now time for Beauty and the Electric Tentacle, except for it's not. Unfortunately, we're skipping this level. This is one of my favorites, and unfortunately, we do skip it right now. But you can physics exploit this this beauty ball to go all the way to the other side of the map if you really want to. It's quite difficult. So not very marathon viable, at least not for me at this point in time, but still fun to think about. Now, red carpet here. This one is a little bit of a complicated level. The game is kind of showing you that you have to do all these steps. Oh, jeez. What was that? Okay. Sometimes the green ones will betray you, so we're going to throw down quite a few of these albino goo balls as well to support for later. And it's basically saying you have to build this big old structure on top of that down arrow there in order to weigh it down and then do the arm. But instead, you can actually just push some goo balls into that little opening, and you're good. You don't need to do that at all. And then we're gonna go ahead and build a tower up to the top. Nice! Got there in time. For them to just fall right in. Beautiful. Not a bad red carpet there at all. I just like this level a lot. It's fun to show off. That was a really solid time. 46 is good. Alright, and then we've been climbing up this tower the whole time. Curry, what do you think's gonna happen at the top of this tower? What's this tower all for? It contains a genetic sorting machine. That we know now.
You're asking me. I'm seeing some questionable objectives here for this tower. I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Okay, well, we're gonna find out together. Oh, wow, one of the pieces made it in here. That is very rare. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Thanks for showing up for Multithon, piece of the other goo ball. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. Why are you going that way? So we're trying to kind of just, nice, use our goo balls to get our big goo balls to the right spot. You can see that before we used those little pieces to make it so that the beauty ball can make it over the chasm. And now we're gonna go all the way up to the top. All the way up, and what are we gonna find there? Well, we'll see. The head of the beauty tower. It looks kind of old, kind of looks ancient. Maybe a little bit, you know, worse for wear, a little decrepit. But we've just fed it. So what will happen? I want you all to just read this cutscene. Please go ahead and read it as it goes. And by all, I mean all of you. Beauty is a highly reactive liquid chemical, like gasoline or turpentine. So,
Of course.
lore. So this game has a lot to say about, you know, beauty standards, and I think because it came out in 2008, there was a lot of talk about, you know, cosmetic surgeries and procedures and stuff, so they're kind of commenting on what was going on at the time. But yeah, in this world, beauty is a highly reactive liquid chemical, meaning that you can power the whole world with beauty. The really funny thing about this world, I think, is that it shows that there's blustering winds on this part of the planet, and that there's wind turbines on this part of the planet, and that is not nearly enough. We need beauty chemicals, actually. And with all that energy that we've just gained, we can go to World 3. Yay! Yippee! And as we're traveling there, anything that Curry or Echo you want to say? Go for it.
Anything from you, Echo? I'm happy to yap, but if you got anything, Echo.
Echo,
I don't know, that part of the game always makes me think about how I think in more recent years we've discovered that you can also power the world with the beauty of an older woman, and this game doesn't seem to appreciate that.
No, they don't get it. You're so right. You're real for that. Now, Burning Man's not quite agreeing with me. Echo, can you explain what I'm doing here? Why does that not work?
Oh yeah, so
What are you doing?
you're using this technique of just throwing one of these goo balls to avoid building over towards that flame, because once they touch that flame, they'll light on fire. And what you want is you want to get that fire all the way back to the actual structure itself.
Yeah, but it's being really mean to me right now. So I'm throwing the goo ball a little too hard, and it's phasing through the structure. Like, see? It's just too much. Usually we get this, like, second try. I think I got this in my PB, like, second try today. But no. It's decided no. That one should have worked, and it just didn't. The reason we're throwing it like this, that should have worked. That should have worked. What is happening, actually? I've never seen this go this wrong. Why is it not working? Like, straight up. I've never seen it do this. The reason I'm throwing it against the wall is that you can't just throw it straight through the fire into it. It just doesn't work. I promise. You can see my angle's fine. but it's just going too fast. I'm going to retry this level. I don't know if there's something going on with the way that everything spawned in that made the collision, like, not work or something, but I'm going to just try that. What? Like, actually, what is going on? Okay. Echo could attest this is usually fine. Yep, It usually just does that. Yeah. In practice, it didn't do that. Okay. Yeah, World of Goo.
We'll just say it's not a deterministic game.
No.
RNG.
It's definitely, yeah. It's fine. I've never taken that long.
The sun was in your eyes?
Burning Man. Never, not once. Whatever. World of Goo moment. I love game from this long ago. We're gonna do Secondhand Smoke now, which is a level that should be safe, but I actually lost in my PB and still PB'd earlier today. So that should tell you about how this game can go sometimes. But either way, we're just gonna build a nice little structure with these flammable goo balls, as we were just saying. They catch on fire. And this one, the level's sort of set up so that there is a huge web around the top. So we're gonna let that all burn away. And that's gonna drop this structure of albino goo balls down onto our hand. And there you go. So that's a level that should work every time. I'm eyeing myself from like 6 hours ago.
It makes sense. I don't know how that could go wrong.
No, never, right? It's amazing that it can.
I mean, you got to hand it to this game, right?
Ah, so true. Now, the Z Project is coming soon. It's telling us about. Thank you, World of Goo Corp. Very nice of you to preview your new product. Now, chat, I want you to guess what the Z product is. Please do so in your donations, because otherwise I won't know what your guesses are. And I can't tell you how accurate you are once we find out. We'll find out in like 5 minutes, so get those donations in if you do want to guess. Now it's time for Misty's Longbow
5 minutes, Chef.
We can see Fisty in the background, but Misty looks a little worse for wear than their counterpart Fisty. That's okay. We'll make it better, I think. I don't really know. But we are introduced to these little goo balls, which Anarchy called like if Steve from Minecraft died once, and I think that's really good. So I'm going to repeat that here. Thank you, Anarchy. And they can actually withstand the spikes that have been, you know, plaguing and terrorizing us this whole time. So we're going to carefully use them to make a nice little bridge all the way to this pipe. That was a really clean Misty's. Happy with that. Not bad.
Smooth. No bones about it.
So true. No bones, no bones. Well, actually, some bones. They're kind of important. 44 is pretty good. I will take that. Yeah. So we're gonna go into the speed run level in this here run. The game is basically giving you a fuse, so that's your natural countdown to not, you know, losing. But we're not gonna worry about that whatsoever. We're fine. We just have to reach these beauty balls and then build away all the way up to the top. There we go. Nice and quick. Who needs it? There we go. 13's pretty good. We'll take that. You can see the fuse doesn't even reach the top once we're done. All right, we're gonna skip the third wheel here, and then we're gonna get into that level that I was kind of previewing earlier called Upper Shaft. We're gonna try that one a couple of times, because it is very difficult sometimes to get in a marathon setting, but I can, in theory, do so. So I wanna show you this strat if it works. So let's hope that it does. Chat, send me your good lucks, because Burning Man is making me nervous. Why did that not work? Who knows? That one's the one that's supposed to work. So first we're gonna go ahead and just build casually through this wall. It's fine. You're allowed, apparently. And then we're gonna build all the way over to this side. And then we're gonna... Ah, darn it. I grabbed onto another good ball before I could catch that one. It's too bad. That was a good throw. But you can see how this is supposed to go. Ah, why did it go so high? Oh. Where you throw it through the barrier.
Some good throws.
The throws are good. It's the catching that's being a problem right now because I'm throwing up into the wall accidentally. But yeah, you can see the idea here. We're trying to land at the back of the pipe, actually, because that's the spot that doesn't have spikes. And then catch the goo ball once it goes out there. This is a very difficult strat, as you can see. We've had a couple of good opportunities, but yeah. Sometimes it'll just glitch out and fall right away, and you can't catch it when it does that. You have to bounce it off of the back and then catch it after it bounces. So, like, we're getting the throws, but they're immediately dying because the angles are just not... Ah! Darn it! Why did that not catch?
No.
I literally
That was
had that.
so close.
Okay. The game's being real mean. I get it, game. You told me in Burning Man I shouldn't do this, and yet I'm still trying anyway. My hubris is not rewarded. Okay, I'm gonna build down here just to do it. That might help. Yeah, did the glitch thing again. Just glitches out sometimes, it does that. So we're gonna try it a few more times. Yeah. You can see what's supposed to happen. I'm gonna skip for now. We do get that sometimes. It genuinely is just that hard, unfortunately, to make work. But of course, if you get that on your first couple of tries, it's really, really fast. So a lot of people build that into their routes for PBing. But yeah, you get the idea. You can go check out, you know, the world record to see that strat in action. I did it at one of my last marathon runs at Hidden Heroes. I promise I can do it. Just didn't agree with me that time. So here we're throwing goo balls against the wall because there's actually a bomb up at the top of the level. So if you throw a flaming goo ball into it, that will explode that head and makes the pipe visible. Instead of having to build a structure all the way up to the top, 21 seconds is pretty good there for you have to explode the head. I will take that. All right, well, game gave me one thing. Eventually. So
Yeah.
we all do get to have a treat because instead of Upper Shaft, we are going to play Incineration Destination, and I think this level's pretty cool. We might get to see the clipping thing actually work in our favor here. We'll see. But first, we're going to have to make a bridge all the way to the other side in order to grab the beauty balls that we need. And this is another just classic bridge building thing. You can build a tower and knock it over here if you want. But it's even harder to do than Ode to the Bridge Builder because you just don't have as much space. Can you wake up? Yeah, thanks. That took a while. Now we're gonna use these albino goo balls that are not flammable to come down here and then explode our bomb. Bring the beauty balls all the way over here, and then we're gonna try our very hardest. Oh, I let go of that too early. Yes, there you go. So that is the same principle as we were just using there in that last level, where you just throw a goo ball really, really hard and get it through something. But the spikes are what really make it hard in Upper Shaft. There you can see that it works like a charm in a situation like that. Nice, sub-minute incineration. I'll take that. Pretty good. And then we're going to find out what the Z product is, so if you want to get in those donations so that Curry can read them in the cutscene, please do. This is your final warning. Guess what the Z product is. We're going to have another guessing game soon as well, so if you want to wait for that, we'll have another thing you could guess about. But first, we're going to go ahead and build a tower up to the flame here, because that's what's been the theme the whole time. Fiery stuff. We've built it on this sort of right side here, because as you can see, the flame does travel faster down to this side, and you only need one side of this Z to be ignited with these flammable goo balls to make it happen. And then we're going to see it explode.
Z.
And here's the product launcher. Ha.
Ha.
It's very literally the product launcher. Yep.
I get it.
Yep, that's the product launcher. It says the Z that way. All right, do we have any
I
guesses
see
for this?
what you did there.
Yeah. Do we have any guesses in the chat or in donations? Or Curry, if you have a guess.
I don't say any guesses. What is the Z product? I have no idea. I don't use makeup at all, so I have no idea. I'm out of my element here.
I see. That could be fun, though. It could be makeup, but we see here that the Z product has been launched into the air. It looks like it's a giant square, but it's falling onto the world. That's not concerning at all. And then, green cube. We're gonna get an explanation here shortly. A screen is going to helpfully tell us what happened. Congratulations! World of Goo is now 3D. Yay! Welcome to the third dimension. Because what was all the rage in the late 2000s? 3D stuff. So we're going to be doing that now. But wait, there's a problem. We are incompatible now with the world. Shucks. We've got to go contact tech support in the information superhighway. So, yeah, we're not compatible with the world being 3D, so we have to go fix that. And to do that, we're gonna go contact tech support in the information superhighway, aka the internet, and this is the internet! I love the 2000s. It's really green. There's a lot of green going on.
We're online.
We truly are online. Now that we're online, we also have special extra goo balls that we can fling into new spots. We can't build with these circular ones, we can only fling them. The square ones are the ones we can build with. So Hello World's just teaching us about that. We're gonna have a whole level about that flinging stuff in a second here, where there's gonna be wind pushing us in different directions and things like that. But I'm explaining it in advance because we do have another guessing game that I would like to set up here. So we're gonna go contact tech support, but tech support is actually an entity called MOM. M-O-M in big capital letters. So that implies that it stands for something. But we actually have no idea what it stands for. The game never tells us. No, press anything ever told us. So please tell us, what does MOM stand for? Either in the chat or in your donations. Please just let us know.
I'll be honest, the first time I saw the end of chapter 3, there was a moment where I thought maybe the game was going to actually go 3D and just be completely different for one chapter.
That'd be super cool. Go to World of Goo 2 for stuff like that. They have big ideas in that game. It's not actually a spoiler, but like that's the kind of thing that they do in World of Goo 2. I recommend playing that, the sequel for that kind of thing. By the way, the sequel, what year do you think it came out in, Curry? What do you think?
So World of Goo is a game that came out in 2003, is that correct?
8. Close.
Wait, 2008, okay. So that means the sequel, I'm gonna throw this, I don't know, 2013?
Close 10 years-ish off. 2024 is when they released World of Goo 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
It came out
What do you
like a
mean?
year and a half ago. Actually, like 2-ish years ago now.
Well, this game is like
True
current.
fact.
It's the series has a current game now.
It sure does. It has a modern game. Now, so I messed up a little bit. You can see maybe why. I threw too many of the green goo balls in my haste to get this level done, and a lot of them died to the spiky spikes. So we're gonna see if this one that's rotating around, okay, yeah, it comes back to us. And then hopefully with that fling we'll be able to get it up here. No? You're still going around? Okay. See, this is why this level I consider a little bit of RNG. Because sometimes you fling everything in the right, the way you're supposed to, and the game just doesn't care. It's a little bit of a chaotic simulator. Every now and then. Okay, yeah, hi. So we're gonna go up this time. I think that'll work. Yeah, there we go. And that's GPU. This one's been interesting. We'll say that. And by that I mean really slow. But I hope y'all are having fun. This is penance for my PB today. The universe said you're going slow.
It's been
in front
real
of an
interesting.
audience.
So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I can show off
it's
with
been very
Roblox.
fun.
Good. I'm glad you think so. I can show off with this one because this level's trying to convince you that you need to use these block things to build a support, but you actually don't. If you do the strategy that I'm doing here and like really, really precisely build this bridge, you don't have to at all. Oop. Come on back, please. Thank you.
Ooh.
All good. No need to stress.
I love physics.
Yeah! But yeah, you can see there's sharp things down here. So the standard bridge building procedure of build a bottom support does not work. So that's why it's trying to convince you and you need those blocks, but you don't. Just builds precisely. It's all good. Now we're going to do the exact opposite thing here in Graceful Failure. These two levels back to back have completely opposite vibes. The game is once again convincing you that you have to use their block things in their way. They want you to Jenga this whole tower out to bring this down to the bottom. We say no thank you. That's very slow. Can we do that instead? And the answer is yes. Yes, we can. Very nice.
First try.
Yeah, good first try. That one can certainly fail. Again, this game's a little chaotic, so sometimes you put too much oomph into that and it doesn't work, but that was a really solid Graceful Failure, so happy about that. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and skip Alice and Bob and the third party here. This is an extended metaphor for chat rooms and how insecure they were at the time, which I think is really fun. But it's extended, and by extended I mean really, really long, so we're gonna skip it. Skip. And now time for the server farm. So this is a really nice sort of final skill test in the normal way that we're gonna do this run. We are adding in the epilogue levels because y'all decided to unlock that, which thank you very, very much, and those will come after this. But normally this is kind of our final normal level in the run, and it is a good final test because this is a toughie. As you can see, the platform down here is kind of wobbling back and forth, and we have to get up pretty high as things kind of fall apart. Yeah, that one I missed a build or two, and that enough will get you, you know, sinking. So, Echo, if you'd like to take over as I make sure we get server farm at some point in the next millennia, please do.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you...
Gosh, I feel like I'm actually out of goo puns at this point.
No.
So, you know, my go-goo?
Go goo.
Wait,
oh, yeah.
hang on, we're finding new ones.
Okay.
Breaking new ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can keep going on this.
You know, I can be a little bit of a silly goose sometimes.
Goose.
Goose?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
silly goose.
3?
What? That didn't work?
Yes, this level is cruel. It really is. It can kill your run. Luckily it didn't for me earlier today.
It looked
But-
so safe.
I know, but no,
It's like,
it never is. Stop that. So you can see I'm using the goo balls by throwing them. Yeah, that was too heavy. Again, this level's mean, and usually it goes in like the first 3 tries or so. So, again, we're kind of off our game today. Sorry about that, Multithon gang. I hope y'all are still having fun anyhow. But yeah.
it's okay. We can go all night. Nobody will worry. We have what, like 9 hours until
The next run.
The next run.
Great. Yay.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yay. Okay. There we go.
Hey.
So there I kind of pulled all the goo balls up to the top to make it sort of tilt over to the side a little bit. Use that kind of natural gravity, which is a bit slower to do on like an individual attempt, but is more safe than kind of just building recklessly. So, you know, when you're not on PB pace or anything like that, it's a good way to get through it. Now we're gonna go to Mom's computer and we're gonna use some games to build up to the top. Do we like video games, chat? Any video game likers in chat?
Woo!
Do we like
Let's go video games.
Let's go.
Well, tell us what video games you like in your donations, or what MOM stands for, because we're about to meet MOM, so last chance for those. Once again, the game's not going to tell us what MOM stands for. We're just going to meet her.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then here's
I think
Mom.
I might have an idea.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what Mom's telling us, and then I'm going to ask you what you think, Curry. So I'm going to just be spamming dialogue here, so I'm just going to tell y'all what the gist is. Basically, we're like, well, how do we become compatible with the world again? And Mom's like, I'm not interested in that. But then, based on what she says, we figure out that she's been sending a lot of spam emails to everybody in the whole world. And we're like, ooh, can we help you with all of those spam emails and getting them into the right inboxes? And Mom is like, yes, please, go to the place where things are deleted, the giant recycle bin in the southeast, and undelete them all for me. And unbeknownst to Mom, who's just trying to get everybody the best sales and deals, we're actually doing this to destroy the World of Goo Corporation to become compatible with the world yet again. This game is a plot. Curry, what do you think MOM stands for?
Wow, got it. After that gigantic lore reveal, I think my guess is MOM stands for. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit of a stretch, but MOM stands for Mom of Mnemonics. That's my guess.
Mom of Mnemonics.
Ooh.
Oh, I like it. I understand your what you're going for there. Very nice. So
Yeah.
we're at the big recycle bin. We're trying to undelete everything. So first we're gonna just bring the undelete button all the way down here, and then we're gonna. Nice.
Ooh, that was smooth.
Yeah, that was really nice. That was very, very clean. Then we're going to use that goo ball, fling it up into the flame, and let the undeletion occur. Henceforth. Here comes all the spam emails everyone's ever deleted, and they're all going to everyone at World of Goo Corporation, and I am sure this will cause no problems. It's all going to be fine.
It's kind of
not.
mail on man.
Are we? Okay.
I don't think that's it.
I don't think so either. New mail. Mail, or I guess mulch. That's what it is now. The World of Goo Corporation. I don't know. So we destroyed a large corporation, and that was our most heroic act of the game. Yippee!
I love mulch.
And that's a bad sign. I think that's a pretty bad sign. Yeah. All right, chapter 4 is over. So now in the traditional run, we would just be speedrunning towards the end, skipping all these levels, but we are not going to do that. We're going to play them. Yay! So let's go play with Infesty the Worm. This is the epilogue section of the game, so this is what y'all unlocked with your donations. Thank you very, very much. So first, we've got to go ahead and get this worm ready to go. So we're going to use these balloon balls to lift it up, and also we're going to sort of use them to knock it over as well. No, I did not want that to happen. Yeah. Game's being interesting right now. I might need to tinker with my mouse settings a little bit later. But either way, all we gotta do is eventually get it off, yay, and then let it fall. So you might be like, wait, that's our structure that we have to get to the end of the level. But if you just leave 3 goo balls on, oh, we have a square. You're supposed to have a 2 long thing here, but we don't. We have a square, and that's going really high. This run is interesting. But instead, if you let it go to the bottom of the screen where the kill plane is, oh dear. Yeah.
Oh no.
So you can't let it get too high, because that'll happen. And that's why you want like a 2 wide thing, and usually when you have 2 balloon balls, it'll just do that fine for you. But either way, we made our own little structure here instead of doing it the way the game wanted us to. And this structure is actually too small to push, it looks like, so we're just doing the traditional method of grabbing more balloons and rotating it. Usually we would throw balloons at it. Oh, actually, oops, we overshot the pipe. It's actually very difficult to find the pipe sometimes. Okay. We're also showing off the flies here. Do we have any more? No? Really? Wow. I think this is the meanest the game has ever been to me by a large margin. But watch any other run I've done of this. Please. Like, really seriously. This is so cursed. I don't know what's going on today. But either way, we're gonna restart that and hopefully get the right size thing. This is why you don't want it to be super small. And it usually isn't. So we are actually holding down the whistle to try to get some goo balls to stay on the structure, if we can. See, here we go. That's correct. For whatever reason, that wasn't happening earlier, but now we're good. And we can do the level the way that not the developers intended, but the speedrunners do. And we just have to throw goo balls at this structure really hard for a while till we get to the end of the level. You can see that in general they put these like platforms here so that you can get more goo balls on the way, but we only need to collect 4, so it's fine. We should be going down over the pipe. No? No, the pipe is later than I thought. Okay, that's fine. You get back here! I've never seen it run away from me! I don't like this game.
The flies are enjoying all of the extra
I've never
space.
seen it run away from me like that, unironically.
You're getting bullied.
I am. Okay, there we go. It's investy. I'm sad. Chat, please donate to Blue Path Dogs, Service Dogs, because I really like Blue Path Service Dogs, and that will make me happier than Infesty the Worm just made me. Okay, let's not do that again. So we're gonna do another thing, which is basically making our own little flying structure and doing a weird thing with it, but it's gonna look really different in this one. In this one, it's expecting you to build a really, really weird, tough to build, tall bridge, or long bridge, but we're gonna do something very different than that. So first, we're gonna attach everything in this exact way. Perfect.
You're killing them.
I am, but it's for the greater good. And then making this little, you know, one by 2 in order to push it all the way to the end. Now that was super clean! This game.
Nice. Turning a trolley problem into a trolley solution.
So true. And then here I actually brought it down a little bit closer to the island just in case we didn't have enough goo balls, but we were all good. That was a very good horizontal transportation innovation committee. So this is what this game can do to you. Sometimes it just decides to work. 43 seconds is really quite good for that. Thanks. Now let's go to Weathervane. So this is the final level in the run that's like kind of real. There is one more level, but it's not a real level, I promise. So enjoy it while it lasts. In this one, it's expecting you to make a big old tower that will go over this gigantic spiky wheel that they have in the middle of the countryside for whatever reason. And we're kind of gonna do that. We're sort of gonna do that. We're gonna do a version of that. So let's see what we actually do. Also, by the way, Echo hasn't seen these levels before. How are you feeling about all this?
I really appreciate them. I like the worm. It was sad that we had to kind of shorten it. I'm just a big worm fan in general.
Ah, yeah.
This one's looking very fun. I love the...
This is a good casual level.
Sort of like tower/bridge building. When you're like building as it's falling, it's always very satisfying to watch.
Yeah, it is, for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and let this fall, actually, a fair bit. And if we kind of let it go just like that.
Ooh!
All good, we are fine. And here we're just gonna let it fall graciously down. Now that was a nice Weathervane. So that was kind of a hybrid of what the game wanted us to do, and some, you know, BS. There we go. Pretty satisfying there. So thanks for donating for that, Chad, even though Infesty decided to be mean to me. The other two were actually really clean, so, you know. You win some, you lose some. And now it's time for Observatory Observation Station. So time's going to be coming up pretty soon here. Not yet. I'll let you know when it is coming. First, we have to bring these sort of little pufferfish fly-y things up to this telescope by just flinging them on. And then we're going to watch them lift up a section of the Earth, because that's how physics works. Time is going to be coming up when this cursor disappears. That'll happen in a little bit here. Yeah, that was World of Goo. So I'm gonna give like this is gonna be like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Yay! I don't want to know what the time was on that. I would rather not. But it was fun. I enjoyed myself. We're gonna watch this lovely end cutscene here while I give my thanks to y'all. So thanks for watching World of Goo here. I love this game. I promise I'm usually a little bit better at it, but I hope that the fun chaos was still pretty entertaining as well. If you'd like to check out what I do, SatanHerself on Twitch is where I stream. I stream this. I stream all sorts of other stuff. Peggle, Plants vs. Zombies. You know, interesting, silly little games from this time period, and some other stuff that is not quite affiliated with that. Echo, do you have any shoutouts?
No, not anything in particular. I'm Echo Machine or Echo GX on YouTube mostly. I like posting art along with my speedruns. That's just kind of some weird recording of a video game. That's about it.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me. That was very fun. And Curry, do you have any final words or thoughts? Thanks for going into this blind, by the way.
Absolutely. It's a very fun game. It looks really interesting, and I acknowledge the chaos that occurred, but hey, you put on a great run regardless, so congrats to you for that.
Thank you. And yeah, go play this game. We skipped quite a couple of the levels, so you can just go into those levels blind, not knowing the solutions at all. And we also cheesed quite a few of the levels, so if you want to actually do this game as intended, please go play it. It's really good. I don't really remember how much it is, but I can't imagine it's more than like $20. It's a classic. A progenitor to a lot of the physics games that came after it at the time. So yeah, pay homage. It's a good one. And there is a sequel, as we mentioned before. It came out in 2024. Fascinating. Recommend both games. So yeah, thank you so much, Multithon, for having me. Enjoy continuing to raise money for Blue Path service dogs tomorrow, y'all. And have a lovely rest of the marathon. Bye-bye.
Folks, give it up one more time for Satan herself, running World of Goo. What an amazing run. I learned lots of things just then, so thank you so much. Folks, that will be it for us for day 2 of Multithon 2026. I am happy to report that we have raised $1,310 for Blue Path service dogs. Thanks to your generosity, we've raised so much money for Blue Path already. I'm so happy with y'all. Thank y'all so much for kindness and generosity. And folks, we'll be back tomorrow or today, depending on which time zone you're in. But we'll be back in about 9 hours at around 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's also 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Central, or 12 p.m. Eastern for day 3 of Multithon 2026. But in the meantime, it's time to get some rest and get prepared and recharge for tomorrow. While we do that, we're going to raid out to one of our friends here that you might have heard from before. A certain Sporadic Erratic, who you might have heard on the mic before. So please, 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 when we raid into them, give them your best Multithon welcome. And we'll see you all back here at this channel much later tomorrow. So with that being said, thank you all. Have a good night.